Hello. Hey, Facebook. Hey, friends from everywhere. This is Neva, your host for the Love Storm Show. And today there's just a special short segment on narcissism behavior. Um, I just want to state that narcissism is on the high rise. For some reason, it's at a heavy level at this time. And I believe narcissism is attached to demonism or possession because people that carry such traits try so hard to have things their way under any circumstances. No matter who they stand on, no matter who they crap on, no matter who they mistreat, their motive is for themselves, whatever goal that they have. And the sad thing is, they will deny any proof that you may have on them as to their games that they play. And the best thing you could do is, as you see red flags that come about, that you ask them questions. If they are so disturbed to respond, signs of their guilt would be they don't want to conversate. They manipulate. They will reverse the questions or proof as to what it is that you're asking them. In other words, they'll say why. If you didn't, say if you found something in something wrong, maybe something they have written or text someone or something, they will reverse and ask you, well, you wouldn't know that if you wouldn't be invading. And when you're involved with someone, there is a limited space of some type of privacy. Very, very little, because if you're in a relationship with someone, especially in marriage, nothing should be private. Everything should be open, because no matter what we go through when we're dealing with people, we should always know what's going on in their lives, because we don't know what may come up. So it's very stern that one should be honest and truthful. My favorite motto, personally for myself, is if you have to stand and build on my foundation and you're not bringing value, true positive value into it, and you're trying to build off my back, basically, for your self-gratification, your foundation will surely fall. So you try to build off my foundation, yours will surely fall, because you're not being sincere and true. And one thing about a narcissistic person, they don't like to be noticed. They don't want anybody to know that they've been found out. So they have what they call flying monkeys. What that means, they'll always stay in tune with someone that you may know or attached in some type of way, to always kind of watch you, to observe you, after they done rubbed your name in dirt and stepped all on you, knowing what they do, and will try to make a person view you in a different eye, and would take basic life skills and things and try to, take things that are normal everyday living, normal everyday trials and tribulations, and then try to falter you for why it didn't work right or why something's not right. They will blame you. These people will go to great lengths to destroy your name, to make you look bad. And you have to have a very smart mind to acknowledge and recognize. If you have an open mind and you are not a judgmental person, you will not fall into the trap of their games. And so what you would do is just keep an open mind and not judge someone based on what's being told to you that try to make you look bad. To try to smear your name to make you look like what you're saying, by exposing this narcissistic person to, they just don't want to be found out, period. So the best thing I think you could do is, if you see red flags, if you don't want to question, you want to go through the trouble, just don't deal with them. because they will never admit. The only thing that will help them is some therapy. They have to be willing to understand and know that they're not mentally healthy, that they're destroying not only the people that are trying to destroy people around them, or may have destroyed someone, but they're setting their future. They don't realize that they are setting their own future. Whether it comes back on them, it very well can come back on someone close to them that they love. So if you're a God-fearing person and you have faith, and you know God will remedy everything. He will expose everything in His time. Because sometimes things will go on for so long, we wonder why we still dormant in what's traumatizing. Sometimes it's intentionally that way, because that person will continue to expose themselves right under God's eye. And those things and those matters, God see it. He will gather those things and put it in the minds or in your hands, or someone's thoughts, to really have them to sit down and examine what's going on and why did such person portray or do such things to someone, that they have to use an individual to get to their next step in life. We need to just stay, we have to kind of work together with each other. Like I said, it's really heavy going on in the world today, where nobody wants to, take fault in their own in their own mess. They create mess, they stir up things, and then they run and hide under other people, and really get themselves in a jam. And no matter what, even if that, like I said, their proof be in their face, they would deny it to the end, to no ends, and try to make havoc for someone else. So, let's just push forward. Keep your vibrations high, keep your spirits high, keep your, what I mean when I say vibrations, just keep your spirits in a positive setting, in a positive tone, and don't let the negativity of things overwhelm and consume you so much that that's all you can think about. So just, kind of stay positive, push through, keep moving. And one great thing you could do is don't even pay that person any mind, that narcissistic person. Don't give them the energy. Don't give them anything to make them think that you're in tune. You wish for them to come back. Don't question them. Don't ask why. Let them be. Let them go right ahead. Because no matter how much you try to say, well, if you had not treated me this way or done things this way, I wouldn't have to be on the defense to defend myself. They would never admit they're wrong. They would never come and apologize. And if they do, because you have some that will try to manipulate and say, oh, I'm so sorry, I don't know what I was thinking, and blah, 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 blah. Be very cautious on, I won't say not to forgive, because we all want to forgive each other, but be very careful on accepting them back into your space, because all they're doing is looking for another avenue on how they can harm you even more, how they can siphon your life out of you, how they can, use your energy, your glory, your positivity to benefit themselves. So once you have acknowledged, once you have opened Pandora's box to a narcissistic person, don't go back. Do not go back to a narcissistic person. Because all they do is going to continue to destroy you until they find their next meal. Because they will go on to someone else with their sad sob story, how someone mistreated them, knowing all the time. This is the things and the patterns that they've done to someone. And they want someone to feel sorry for them so that they can be able to be taken in by that person, so they can drain that person as well. It's a vicious cycle that they do. That is not humanly. It is a spirit. It is an evil spirit. It's a possession. And things will happen. Things will happen in your space. You don't understand what's going on and why, bad things are always happening. You have to be very mindful and cautious of accepting narcissistic people in your lives. As well as being so open, because we always want to be trustworthy and open and honest with people. We these days we really have to take our time and showing who we are to people, especially if they're not going to bring anything to you. If they're not going to be straight up and honest, if they siphon it out a little bit here and there, because we as women sometimes, it doesn't take a whole lot, because we're emotional creatures. It doesn't take a whole lot for us to, appreciate and accept people, because we are the mothers of the earth. We thrive and deal with people off of emotion, because it's like everybody's our children. They don't understand women are to be loved and respected and treated with such dignity and respect that they don't understand. This is what I don't understand, and I don't want to just point out as men doing it, because women do it too. But when the men are mistreating our women with their narcissistic behavior, they have to remember, you have a mother, you have a grandmother, you have a sister. So the things that they put out, and they may be wondering why their mother or their sisters or aunts going through such turmoil, what you put out will definitely come back. So we have to be mindful on how we treat other women. We want to treat our women with much respect. And I know there's some women that do not respect our men. So once again, all of these type of things go back into the mental status of maybe the way people was raised. Because what I have learned through some little research I had done is that people with such behaviors, they were neglected, were not acknowledged, and were made to push to do what was necessary in any capacity to make things happen, which is unfortunate and sad, because if us adults are treating our children in such a manner, they're not living a life fulfilled as a child to do child things. They're learning to take on matters to better benefit the adults in the home, and that's fine to a degree, only if it's sincere work ethics to help benefit and take care of the family. So in other words, if they're honestly, trying to make a hustle in an honest way, of course, we know logically that makes sense. But if people are doing things in a narcissistic way to say, hey, I'm going to lie to this person and make them think that I'm going to give them the whole world, I'm going to sweeten it up, I'm going to tell them all the sweet, beautiful, good things that they want to hear. And when I get to that space, and I'm gonna run for the hills. Then I'm going to get the things I need so I could be able to take care and feed my other family, or their family. And that's just as awful and sad. And what the sad thing is, there needs to be more study. It's really a condition, and I think there needs to be more study psychologically made known. And this should be used. It should be categorized as a law, that when people do these things to people, that they ought to be reprimanded for it, because these people could snake somebody and take their whole life, their whole foundation right from under them. And because a person was being open, honest, and true in the relationship, that person have to be dragged through the mud and not have anything. I think there ought to be a law against people, against these narcissistic people that causes turmoil to others. It should not be allowed. And most definitely they can see a person's what can I say, that they can see their glory in a sense, or they can see where they can blossom in life, where they can be, where that individual can go to another level. They will sit around and try to siphon it all up out of you. They will belittle you. They will say some mean, hurtful things that put you in such a rut that you begin to question yourself. And you begin to run behind them, wondering what it is that you've done, and you've not done a thing. You don't have to do anything. Whenever they're in their mood to set off, they set off. What triggers them? I'm not sure. I haven't figured that out. Me personally, I haven't figured out that yet. What triggered them? But I think because they're such miserable individuals and lack self-esteem, integrity, and emotion, because they are emotionless people, they will portray that they're so hurt. And they know how to mirror. They know how to mirror people very well. So that, in my mind, that makes me look at them as a child, because we know children at 1, 2, 3, 4 years old, they mirror everybody that they come around. So you have people that may be having post-traumatic stress syndrome in their lives when they grow up, and this is all they do. They mock something that they have seen or was trained on how to manipulate people. If you want something and you want to get far in life, this is what you got to do to people. They don't understand they have to answer to God. And we want to stay strong and keep ourselves away from these type of people. You know, and we want to stay encouraged. If we see a loved one going through, it's okay. You know, we can try to encourage and warn others as best we can. And sometimes people are not ready to accept it because they don't know. People do want to live their own lives. And sometimes we have to allow people to do that. And just be there for them when they fall short. And don't judge them, because we have to know and remember, understand, we won't want anybody else to judge us on the decisions that we make and the choices that we make, because each individual is allowed to live their life accordingly to the way that they see that benefits them. And because someone makes a choice does not mean that they're not necessarily matured enough to make a choice, because things happen. You know, I think a lot of people that are brave, that go through things, they are the people that go through the most trials and tribulation, to me personally, are the most bravest, because they determine to live. Because if you allow something to stumble you where you can't live and you're full of fear, then you've allowed that person to have power over you. Don't allow people to have power over you, being afraid to live on, move on, and do things that's going to make you happy. You know, so keep in mind, one, you're allowed to love yourself up to in any capacity. Two, when you see things that's not right, red flags, question them until you have that satisfied answer response. Three, take your time in allowing a person so deep into you, they're not sharing and opening up and being sincere about things as well as much as you. Then either things probably should be at a standstill, cut short, cut off, you know, to the satisfaction. Because it allows you to protect your family at all costs. So, you know, stay grounded, stay well grounded, and not allowing these narcissistic people to control your lives, because it's very bad. And today I will admit I have been going through such, and it was a horrible experience. But I keep my head up. I will not allow anybody to make me miserable. I'm gonna smile and keep on going, because I'm not defeated. I will not be defeated. I will not crumble and fall to the feet of a narcissistic person that don't know or love themselves, because these are people that don't love themselves. And they'll do anything to any means to break you down. Like I said, to get things that they want and wish and have their way, they would do anything to break you down. If they see you start recognizing their game, they see you start pulling away, they gotta throw their fishing line right back out there at you to reel you in with those sweet, soft words. What do you want? You want to go shopping? They're gonna do those things, and then once they see that those things have been fulfilled, you sit and just the moment that you see that the moment that they see that you're at peace is when they'll come back again with something. It's a vicious cycle. It's a continuous cycle that they just want to break you down, and it's horrible that they want to hone in and hurt you. They're not going to give you a response. They're not going to give you an answer. I was in a situation where every time I realized and recognized something was right, I was questioning and questioning and questioning. Those questions were never being fulfilled and answered. It was that person was shut down. They don't want to say anything. They went as far as to call the police, because they want to get the police involved to tell me he doesn't want to talk. He's tired. You just, leave him alone, and just, no. You don't understand the game he's doing. And let me show you the proof I have right here. Once I made it known and had this proof to show, okay, ma'am. See, you have to be cautious on these people. They will do anything, go to any means, and point the finger back at you. And they'll come and say how they had an open heart. They came and with an open heart to accept, and they did this and did that. Well, when they start saying what they did for you, technically what that means is, because especially if you're in a relationship, when you come together to balance things out, make things work, and build and live. When they start pointing out the things that they've done for you, right there, to me, you had no true, sincere intentions on building. You want someone to sit and just accept your behavior and do what you want when you want to. So, like I say, question things, get that answer. If they don't want to respond in a healthy manner, because adults conversate, adults communicate to get understanding, not just to say what they want to say and that's it and then be done with. Because guess what? This is not a one man's world. This is not a one woman's world. We all are here to make a living, to live up on each other, to help each other grow. Love endures. Love, help everything grow. What'd you say, Chris? Hey, Chris, welcome. He says, see, it's like we said last time, once the respect is gone, that's when people change. Yeah, that's just what happened with me personally. It's not, for me personally, I won't respect you, but I'll distance myself once I realize and see that you're on game and you won't be straight and honest with me. I'm going to cut you off. I'm going to call you out on what you're doing. I'm going to let you know what your steps was, what it is, and where you're going to, because I already peeped you. And see, when you have a strong person, such as myself, because I've been through hell and hot water, and I'm still standing, I'm still smiling, I'm still going to love. That's me. I can't help it. That's just that's who we are as people supposed to be. But I will call you out in a nice, loving way. As nice as I possibly can. And when you do that, people get frustrated when you call them out. If a person wants to be in your space and you call them out on things that's not right, they will accept that, they will listen, they will find a way to remedy that situation with you. When they're hiding something they don't want you to know, they will try to cause hell into your life. They will start pointing things out to you that you had no idea that was wrong. And it's nothing wrong. It's what they create in their mind, because they want to make themselves right about what they're saying and what they're doing. Because, as I told that individual, you have motive. When you do things, you have motive. When you do things for no apparent reason. So, yeah, Chris, that, I had to take a stand, and I'm going to get you back on real soon, and I'm going to chop it up with you, because you bring some good wisdom, too, on the platform. So, Chris said, that's right, don't stand for no BS. That's right. And it's time out for that, because one, look at all the crazy things going on in the world. I don't want to get all off into that, but I'm just saying, this is time people are supposed to come together, be realistic, be honest, and help and stand in the guards with each other to help, keep each other lifted and supported. So yeah, in my life, the past year and a half, it's been crazy. A lot of people would have no idea known that. And everybody don't need to know. But the thing is, this is why I also use my platform to express that don't stop loving so you don't miss your blessing. Because that one for you will surface. Just keep pushing through. Stay prayerful. Stay positive. Network around positive people. Because that's what I've been doing this past year. Is that I've been networking with some people that's doing some very extraordinary things. And I now have the opportunity to spread my love through some columns that I write for now, and looking forward to do something very extravagant next month. And I'm just so honored that people recognizing the truthness and love that I have for everybody. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you come from. But surely, if you are on the nonsense, I don't want to take part in that, because that type of spirit latches on to you. And if people are, that's just who they are from ground up, is evil spirited people, I have to cut short. If people will not be straight up and honest about, I was wrong in that, how can I fix this? I really want to fix this and, repair this. then I have no time, because I'm the type of person, I will admit my errors. If you bring that to me and say, well, you wasn't right about this or something, you tell that to me. See, once you speak something to the atmosphere, to someone about what they've done, they know it, they hear it, it's in their conscious. There's nothing that they can do to try to erase what they just heard, what somebody brought to their attention. So it's very important that, for me to take steps, I take steps on, hey, recognizing, acknowledging, letting the person know where they're not being fair at, so that we can, move on and grow. But definitely, it's been a trying time for me. I'm finally able to breathe. I'm gonna live it up. I am gonna be more cautious on, personally. I don't talk a whole lot, but I do talk to a nice, I talk to a few people that I think that I can trust. And even some of those people lately, I have been finding they're not as well to be trusted. So, as a lot of us say, and a lot of people say, the best person to talk to is if your mate isn't your best friend that you can talk to aside God, because God is definitely first. Then there's no need to discuss things with someone that's not going to give you a positive result. Because again, not everyone is going to understand what you're going through or what you have gone through, to be able to just be a listening ear. So I can say, excuse me, that I do have a listening ear now, and it's nice to be able to talk to someone with a level head. As you say, Chris, standing your ground, and people that love you and care for you, they won't pass judgment on you. They'll stand with you, excuse me, and to help, I want to say heal the earth, because it just takes one person at a time, to help heal each other and heal everyone in the world. If everybody wants to excuse me, be on that same path. So the stability and the self-love and the self-care, all that comes into play, all of that is so necessary, so important to self-love first. And if it's not right, it's not right. I accept that. I move on. Why should I sit and twiddle my thumbs, swing my feet, and wondering why? Because this is what I say. A person that mistreats you intentionally on a daily, something's mentally wrong with that person. They're not normal. They're under some type of possession, and you have to get away from you have to separate yourself from them, because again, that's the type of spirit will latch on to you, and you want to keep a healthy mind state. So I want everyone, just encourage everyone, when you see things, question. If people get so bothered about you questioning things that's going on in their lives or in y'all life or your union, then something's not right. So I want to just leave those few words of, being mindful of these type of people. It's a spirit. Unfortunately, there's nothing you can do about it except pray for them, and you can pray in a distance, because if you keep them in your space, horrible things will start happening. You have no idea. Because I will personally say, I've experienced some weird things, and because of my faith, it's good that I was able to recognize those things. Even some of my family don't know some of those things that happen, and I'll just keep those things to myself. But this is why myself personally, I'm able to make choices and push on and push ahead. Don't despite what somebody else think or feel, because only yourself know. No matter how much we try to explain to people and things that we go through, more in depth about what you're able to explain and what you've been through to be able to make a sound decision. So once again, love is everything. Turn it up. Don't stop loving so you don't miss your blessing. Don't allow your trials and tribulation to stumble you, to put fear in you, because that's what the devil wants you to do. He wants you to be so fearful that you don't want to spend no time in trying to continue to live your life and prosper. You'll miss your ship if you do that. If you need to have time to yourself, certainly take that time to yourself, so that you can be able to press on. So, again, my loves, my people, I want to, if anybody in the Las Vegas, Nevada area around March 18th, there is a movie premiere out called Bad Boxer with Justin Mayweather. I'm sure that might ring a bell to you in relation to Floyd Mayweather. Yes. There are tickets for the movie premiere. If you're interested, inbox me. I have the link for that showing. It'll be here in Las Vegas, Nevada, March 18th. If you're interested in coming on to chat it up with me on the show, email is Neva, N-E-V-A, fox73@gmail.com, or you can inbox me on Facebook. There are videos uploaded on YouTube under the Love Storm Show. You can review those past viewings there. View, like, share, and subscribe to the channel to keep in loop on what's going on. Because as time progresses, there's other things that you'll see come up. So, I want to chime out. Anybody interested in chatting up with me, we can come on the platform and just chop it up. All right? So, don't stop loving so you don't miss your blessing. Hang in there. Stand strong. Stand tight. Be in loop with each other. Encourage each other. And keep pushing forward. So, my regards and love to everyone. You all have a good night. Your host, Neva, The Love Storm Show.